Hello everybody, thank you for joining us on our first official episode of Midwest Family Outdoor Adventures. As you'll see in this first episode, where we're out in the Kewaunee Harbor in Wisconsin fishing for king salmon. It's first video. My passions are hunting and fishing and getting outdoors, and that was the spirit behind this channel, is just to encourage people to get outside, to hunt, fish, camp, do it with your wife, girlfriend, kids, friends, family. I was initially planning on filming this all with my iPhone, and then quickly learned that a GoPro is a much superior device. So you'll see in this first video that about half of it is filmed with an iPhone and about half is filmed with a GoPro. I went back and forth and debated on scrapping the whole thing because I didn't like the difference in footage types, but there was a lot of good content and I think a lot of great memories made, and definitely felt you guys should see it. So in subsequent videos to this, it will all be filmed with GoPro, and so there'll be some consistent viewing for you guys. But come along and please join us on this first episode here of Fishing for Kings out in the Kewaunee Harbor. Good morning, everybody. It is bright and early here on a Friday morning. It is August 23rd today, 2024. Welcome to the first episode of Midwest Family Outdoor Adventures. We're excited to have you join us, and we are just headed now here down the road, headed to go meet up at our buddy's house who lives in northern Minnesota to head out to fish for some king salmon. So we will take you guys along on that adventure, and we're excited to have you join us. With me today I have my neighbor and buddy Kyle. All right, here we go. We're ready to go catch some big old kangs. All right, there we are at the Trutwin Ranch, about ready to head, not north, we're heading east. We are north now. All you need, guys, is this Lund fishing boat. The guys got the big rigs out in marinas in Wisconsin, and standard Lund fishing boat right here. A couple modifications I'll show you once we get to the campsite and get things checked out, but really, that's all you need. All right, everybody. An important part of a trip is gear collection. So we do our checklist in the car. We got the boat ready to go. The sun's shining. There's Yosh, as Wisconsinites call him, Big Trut. Here we are at Shields. We're going fishing. Kyle, what else do you need to buy besides your license? Maybe a rain jacket. All right, just think, we're going fishing. So it might not be a bad thing to have. Here we go. Kyle, how do you feel about your purchase? You happy about it?
I haven't made it yet.
You have to do it. We'll have to do a phone call with Dave Ramsey later, but for now, what'd you get, Kyle? What'd you end up getting?
Dave would tell me no.
So you forgot a raincoat, so we walked out with a paycheck's worth of gear. Here we go. I'm talking about. So Josh, what fishing essential gear did you buy for our king salmon fishing trip in Shields? Josh is gonna make some sourdough bread while we're out there. Got his starter going. Perfect. Oh boy. That's the worst. In case you find people that have a few things of gear, a regular fishing boat works. Might have to make a few modifications when we get to the marina. I'll show you guys the setup that Josh has for the rod and tree, because you can fish. I'll get the exact number for you over there, but I think it's 3 lines a guy. And so 3 guys, we can have nine lines in the water. So he welded some rod trees. Josh is in the trades and was able to weld some rod trees. So we'll get a video of what those look like, just to modify things. But really, if you got a fishing boat, you don't need thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of gear. But we'll do a gear run once we get to our final destination. Campus set up. We're ready to go.
That might be better.
Josh, you want to give us a quick rundown on what we're looking at here?
What would you like to know?
What's in the box, Josh? What tricks you have to sleep? Okay.
This is the spoon box, but it's kind of overflowed into the flasher fly box as well.
So if I'm first time fishing for king salmon on Michigan, Those spoons are at the very back end of the tackle, obviously with the hooks. What's up with those pool noodles you got there hooked into those shiny little deals?
It's just simply for line management.
Okay.
If I find a flasher combo that I like, instead of trying to take them apart and package them all back up, this will help you just keep it all together.
Okay.
One.
Nice little
And I
trick.
can just go here, Kyle, put this on.
Perfect. There's Kyle.
Yep.
We're set up in camp, getting everything set up. The tent, like I showed you. Kyle is working on getting the lines and the rods up. So Josh, again, for people who are brand new to fishing, you got all these numbers and these lines look like different colors. What are we looking at here?
Bigger the number, deeper the line.
Okay, so
This time of year, August, fish are going to be deep, warm water. I mean, some fish are going to be shallow because they're starting to move towards the rivers and start staging. But we're still targeting a deep bite, warm water, 300 copper. If I had 350, 400 copper, I'd probably be running that too. I know the fish are going to be deep. They don't like the warm water, so you got to get down past the thermocline into the cold water.
So the higher the number, the deeper the line goes, Josh?
Correct. 300 copper is going to be our deepest line unless we put it on the downrigging.
That's good. So we have lead weighted line, lead core line. We have copper. There's actually a stainless line here as well.
Yeah. Slap that through that hole right there.
Split ring, not D-ring.
Yosh, do you mind showing me one real close up? So what's this?
What's it called? Planer board release.
Oh, the fight!
Oh, the fight! Wait till I show the guys.
The catch!
What a cat!
And then the release!
The release! What release? There's no release.
All right, the release.
The release. What release? No, yeah, these are the cheaper version of them.
But they work.
But this would be so that when you're fighting a fish, you're not fighting against the drag of the board.
In addition to the weighted line and the very heavy fish that you're going to pull in the boat, right, Joel?
Right. Really
Josh,
cool.
how many years you been coming out to Lake Michigan, and what got you started?
What got me started?
Yeah.
Yeah, we started coming out here. I was like, well, actually, I might not even had this boat at the time.
This was your dad's boat at
This
the time.
was Dad.
Yeah.
I don't think I had this boat
I don't think you did because you.
at the time. Otherwise, I might have been like, oh, let's just fish in the boat.
Right.
Because we were fishing, battling for spots on shore. Because when the fishing's good, there's people like everywhere. So we started coming out here and looking for spots and trying to find spots, and then you start meeting people on the shoreline and talking to them and trying to get everybody out here is pretty dang nice, but they all got their spots, which we understand. They don't want to give you everything.
Right. But talking to people does help a little bit,
Oh,
especially
yeah.
if you're a first timer.
Yeah, you got to talk to people and
Not be intimidated by that, and
just you run into a lot of nice people everywhere you go fishing.
because this is I think we figured out fourth trip here.
Yeah, so then
And it's been a
fishing.
blast.
So fishing from shore, and then watching people in the boat.
Yep.
Basically, just out farther than you could cast.
Yeah.
Is what transitioned to, okay, we got to bring the boat now because we don't have to get here at midnight,
Right.
and fish 6 hours standing on the rocks when we could just push off in the boat, fish the exact same water just out from where these people are casting.
If you're somebody at home who's, obviously living on a budget, you got a small car, you can get out
Or you
here
can come out here and fish from shore.
and
for
fish
sure.
from shore with rods. So
Yep.
don't let that deter you from
No,
getting out
for
here.
sure.
And then another great option, we haven't actually done this out here, but a lot of people do, is the charter. All right, so change of plans. We got big rollers out there, so even the big boys and the charters aren't going out. So we're going to
40-foot boat said he's not going.
said he's not going. So got to adapt, right? We're out here to fish, so we talked to the guy at the bait shop, and he said they've been catching them right in the harbor. So we are going to head back to camp, grab a switch up our tackle a little bit, and we're just going to cast, maybe do a little jigging. Josh was thinking and did bring the live scopes. We might get in the harbor there, see if we can spot some fish and throw some tackle at them and see what happens.
Bite must be hot. There's like 2 boats, 2 trailers in the landing.
All right, we're back out in the harbor. We are gonna try some flicker shads. We can't fish the big water with the size vessel we have just because there is big rollers out there, so I want to play it safe. Who's trolling Pat? The long tournament series. Ready to roll, baby. Limit in 45 minutes.
I don't know what it is. It is a pike.
That's a pike. It looks like the nose of a pike.
Yeah.
Line in the rod holder, Kyle?
Good.
Is it in the rod holder?
What's that?
Your line is in the rod holder.
I didn't mean to splash well.
Well, it's unhooked. So, yeah. Release! Release!
First time. It's Rick Yosh. Beautiful evening out here.
We want the downer.
Hey. I'm gonna turn left to try to get the fish in the middle. Okay. It's a pike.
Yeah.
Oh, buddy.
The Yukon Jack and the Miller Lights are good, though. I can tell you that. We're finding out.
Yeah.
Hanging out. He's going out there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. You might be right. Okay.
I see him. Just dogging you at the surface there.
There he is.
Easy does it. Easy does it. Or around the boat or what?
I don't know. I'm gonna try to work left. Yeah, I'm gonna come back.
You can come to this side, but
Don't not in front of the trolling motor.
grip there though? You getting sleep? You getting tired?
Well, the diameter of holding on to this is so much wider you can't like forearm them in there. Everything's so much smaller. Drag sounds tight, but it's, I mean, I'm in it, yeah. I don't want to loosen it too much.
Yeah, you're really reefing on her though.
Not going too crazy?
Help or no?
No.
Get that thing out of my eyes. Hey, get some sleep so you're not so crabby.
Come on. I don't think this is going to be over anytime soon. Pull up.
Wrapped in the line.
Pump up.
Well, I'm gonna go back over here.
Fire. I'm trying.
You guys spin around one more time.
One more time. One more spin. One more. Let's go, Yosh. Come on, she's gonna go down again. Get it up a little bit. Get her pumping up. Yes.
Did the hook pop out already?
That ain't small. That might be my PB. That is big.
Ooh, got some salmon slime on the old camera equipment there. Yeah, maybe. Freaking strong.
I got her.
Dude, nice fish.
11:30. I just hooked into a just under 24-pound king. We're just jigging to the side of the bow with heavy spoons. Too much wind to go, like I said earlier, out in the main lake, so we're just right to the harbor. You can see the buildings in the background, and got the live scope out. And that thing just came up and ate it, so right there. Jigging them up in August.
That was the sickest run I have ever experienced. This way, I went up and over the rod. It's out there jumping. Spun around this side of the boat, ripped back up, back around the other side. Came back at me, thought it was gone. I was trying to crank. That was chaos. Pure chaos.
Way, great job, Josh. There we go. There we go.
Hard mouth. Hook popped right out as soon as it hit the net.
Yeah, that's awesome. There she is. All right, let's get her up.
How in the world? They're so big.
Nice work, boys. There we go. Yosh, what are you thinking right now, man? Kings, baby, kings. Check it out. That ain't small. All right. All right. We are jigging them up out here. Josh just pulled in a 25-pounder. Way to go, Josh. Kyle hasn't done jack all day. Way to go, Kyle. Thanks for netting that one. Somebody's got to be here to net the fish. It's fun. Never jigged them up before. This is my 4th time out here. Always been trolling. So jigging them up is definitely a rush.
Try saving some of these. Shave some eggs and see what happens. Huh?
One fillet. These fish are not small.
This is the color of the meat we want too. This stuff makes pretty darn good stuff.
One fish. Here we go. All right, as you can see, it's bright. We're winding down.
I did this for you guys.
Night, guys. We'll catch you in the morning. 3 a.m. is gonna come real early.
A little bit of a gong show because we're going to switch styles of fishing. Getting feistier?
Yeah,
That's
getting
good.
feistier.
That's good. How's your drag? Is he taking any drag?
He is taking drag.
Okay. Try you on that. Get it up. Turn left a little more, Tyler. Yeah. Perfect. Lift him up, Kyle.
Trying to fight.
Lift him up.
Okay,
Ready?
ready?
Lift him up.
Way to go, buddy. Way to go. High five, Kyle.
Hey, you.
Way to go, bud. Nice work.
That would be. Go, buddy. King.
Hey.
Little guy. Delicious. He who takes pictures of sunset is not catching fish.
Right.
Or sunrise. He who doesn't know sunset from sunrise is tired. Chaos! Chaos! Ah!
Josh, you want to grab my phone? That's in that stand.
That's why I grabbed my phone.
I just got a mic on. It's all good. Let's do that one.
I can hear you. Oh, I almost lost my coffee cup. No! We're in trouble.
Yours is right there. Get him, Kyle. Little coho, look at that.
Heck yeah, rainbow, baby. Why are we catching rainbows on a 300 copper? Chaos!
That one we did not lose.
I found God looking for the devil, chasing the high, couldn't be forever. Down, it's hard to tell when to find.
Pump it.
There's a little wiggle. All right, it's a little one, but I'm optimistic.
What do you think, Kyle? What's it? 7?
Okay.
Josh, what is it? You said 10? 5?
Wrapped in another line.
Let me see. Oh, look at that. Josh was right.
Yeah, and then I changed my mind.
All right.
You can mark this one again. You got a fish.
Screamer. Oh boy. That's what I'm talking about.
I can't move him.
Get the net. Just cut the net.
Yeah, cut the net.
Kyle.
Oh, here he goes again. Going again.
Or you say, a king, a king, a king.
That was very nice.
Fish on?
Oh, doubled up.
RC tie tangled in it. Oh, we got a double. Okay. We're going to drive. I'm going to keep us a little bit to the right here to keep us away from that other boat. And I'm grabbing the net. We got a double. Josh is skiing one in. That was on the dipsy?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. You're gonna go under me, probably. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. We're good with the boat. I'm gonna leave.
It might have got off or it's a little.
Oh, it's,
Oh, it's real little.
I'm gonna abandon post and net.
I don't need a net.
Okay.
see. Okay. Look at that. Tiny king. Okay.
Spoon.
Yeah! That means we're only another 270 feet from the fish. An old timer told me that one time. He goes 80 to 120. I lived there. You don't need to go anywhere.
That's what he said? Yeah.
Come back in, we're 115 feet of water. Drop the anchor, drop the anchor. You cut the anchor. Pump them, work them. I am pumping them. Get the net, you cut the net too.
There we go.
Okay.
We're gonna end up going behind that guy.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice work, buddy.
Nice work, Yosh.
Way to go, Josh.
Spoon fly.
Yeah. Is that what it is?
Yes, sir.
And he's out.
Kings. Kings on the deck.
Fly.
Let's see. What are we using for tackle here, Josh? All right, I'll show you right here. So, pressure. Look at the bloody nose. Comma right there. Let's see. That's it, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Oh, 16. Nice work, Kyle. Nice work, nice work.
Membrane.
It's a brain.
Okay, boys, what are the number predictions tonight?
17.
17 fish or pounds?
Yep.
17 fish at 17 pounds?
Yeah, baby.
All right. I'll take it.
All right, guys, here we are. It is the end of technically day 2. We got in yesterday evening, did a little bit last night. Today is day 2. We were out all morning trolling, covered anywhere from 80 feet to 180 feet. Ended up with 5 for the day. We are out for the evening bite right now. We're going to try to throw out some bobbers and got some skein from a few of the fish we caught earlier. See if that works. And jig like last night where we got a couple of those big kings here in the harbor. So we have Joel and Pat, the guys that we're with in a separate boat. They're going to go out and troll, and we'll kind of work together as a team and see who's hitting on what, and we'll go from there. Hey, Kyle, look, it matches your shirt. Disappeared inside your shirt. Oh, that's back. All right, so like I talked about a little earlier, here is the skein, correct, Josh? From the salmon we caught earlier. So a couple females, get the eggs out. We will put these on a treble hook here. So Josh, like you said earlier in the bait shop, this early in the season, the eggs are still tight within the sack, so you shouldn't need to get any spawn bags, correct? They're called? You should just hook right onto the
membrane that's still holding it all together. So.
Perfect. Look at that. Can we get a quick view of that?
Hopefully the fish are
Perfect.
in the mood for huevos rancheros.
We didn't get stung.
Look at what it's on.
Yeah, I know. It's because I put it on the downright.
And it's a king, dude.
That's tang.
Already got one.
Let's hold that up, Josh. See how big you can make that thing look. Oh my gosh, huge. It's like, eh.
Okay. I'm gonna hand this to you.
Hold on, I'm setting it up. Yeah, you're fine. Set it. If there's still a fish on here, it's nothing. It's like the smallest fish I've ever seen.
There it is.
Yeah, it's the smallest fish I've ever seen.
Want a net? No?
No, we'll just get a hold of the...
Oh, no.
He's got a friendly down right here.
You got it.
Well, that was 85. Driving. Pull that way left. Oh, thank you, fish. Lift. Rumble.
Almost doubled up.
I mean,
Close enough to double.
practically a double.
Nice. Couple little kangs.
We got just, I don't think there's a fish on there, and then,
No.
oh, that's not,
No, he was talking about camera.
is it gone?
Nope, it's not. Okay.
Back it up, homie. Pause. Alright.
Put it back to you, Josh. All coming back.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Keep them pinned. Faster.
Uh-oh. She got light.
Nope, small one. Nice. Nice work. Oh, good morning, everybody. It is day 3. We are had an exciting start to the morning. Full moon last night. Not a whole lot of clouds, so they were biting right away when we got out here. We went 4 for 4, right? We didn't miss one. 4 for 4 this morning. A bunch of smaller kings, but it felt good. We had a close to a double. Yeah, we'll probably fish for a couple more hours here for the morning bite, then head back to camp and get packed up and head home. A lot of meat in the cooler, so that's the fun part about coming out here to Lake Michigan. I know a lot of this hunting and fishing, it's not cheap to do, but out here, definitely pound for pound, you definitely come home with a good amount of meat, and obviously salmon isn't cheap at the grocery store, so yeah, we'll get some footage of the meat we got. And the nice thing about coming out here too is this is a stocked lake. Catch and release to the grease type situation out here. They stock it every year, so the salmon don't naturally reproduce in this lake because the water temperature, I don't believe, gets cold enough. But yeah, so hopefully we can get a handful more here in the next few hours. Kyle, hold up your fish. Let me see it.
Jellyfish.
Look at it. Got a jellyfish on Lake Michigan. Woo! Kyle, you want a picture?
It's an IV bag.
Is it? Nasty. I'm still turning left. I'm just not as aggressive.
Here it comes. Where do you want it? Can you go on the front of it?
Nice work, Kyle.
Got her.
What do you need me to grab, Josh? Well, that's a little bigger one. Nice work, Kyle. Josh, favorite part of the trip?
Trimming my fingernails.
Okay. Oh, it's
With all the fish guts underneath the fingernails.
Get your nutrients. Favorite part of the trip, Kyle?
Catching a 24 and a 25 pound.
Okay.
Good. You caught a 24 inch
Well,
king?
I witnessed a 24 and a 25-inch king get caught.
Oh, those are the pro anglers that were in the boat earlier.
They
That
were very good at some things. Yeah.
That was by far my favorite portion as well. Catching one jigging,
spoon.
and then it just spazzing out.
Yes. Tyler's fish leaping through the air multiple times. Highlight.
All right. We're hoping for a miracle here. We are on the troll back to reality, I guess we'll call it. Gonna pull the pin here soon, been out for 12 minutes left. 12 minutes till we pull the pin. It's been a great trip. Thanks, Josh, for supplying all the tackle and gear and tips and tricks.
And sacrificing your fishing line.
Absolutely. Yeah, expensive. Expensive.
Riding through the dusty plain, his faithful horse he reins. With his hat and boots of leather, he's the Lone Ranger. He's the cowboy man.
We are headed to the second most important part of the trip. First of all is obviously catching kings. Second of all is what, Josh?
0.9 miles, guys.
Rocky Ricocos.
If you're from Minnesota like we are and do not have this unbelievable pizza chain, definitely a stop you're going to want to wake it. And if you're in Wisconsin, salmon fishing or doing anything else, it is amazing. We'll send a picture of the pizza a little bit later, but Rocky Ricocos, we tend to get the large sausage pizza. It will not disappoint.
Very trailer conclusive.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen.
Where's your plate time?
Right here, buddy. Oh my goodness.
Three sausages.
Perfect. Look at that. All right, good afternoon, everybody. We are back from Lake Michigan out of the Kewaunee Harbor. As you guys can see, it was a great trip. It's awesome. Obviously, nothing compares to catching the fish, spending time with your buddies and family, but this is almost my second favorite part here. We come home. This is just, as you guys saw earlier in the video, this is our kind of our haul we had. We had a great weekend, lots of fun time, lots of fellowship. Now we're at home in my kitchen, and what we're gonna do is prepare some of this. So my wife's been making great poke bowls with some of the salmon fillets. There's tons of great recipes online. One of my favorite ways to prepare the salmon, though, is to smoke it. I have a recipe that I borrowed from a buddy. What I'll do is I'm going to go through the ingredients in the video right now, but then I'm going to post in the video description. I'll put a link to the exact measurements for what I'm using here if you want to be precise. I like to cut my salmon fillets maybe in 3.5 to 4 inch wide diameter max, because then I can vacuum seal them in little packages like this, and it's a great snack for lunch. It's great for breakfast. Sometimes I'll eat it with my eggs. Other times, right now, what's right around the corner in Minnesota here is we're having deer hunting season. So, and duck opener will be before deer hunting season. So great little snacks to throw in the cooler for the blind or up in a deer stand. It's just, again, I like them in little sections like that. So a couple of the tools I have here: fillet knife to help cut them down into that section, do any extra trimming that I need to do. You guys saw earlier in the video where we fillet the fish, the marina there. Basically at that point we're just trying to hack down the whole fish and get it into a smaller diameter, and so that what we can do is make it easier for transport home in the cooler. Then once we bring it home, we'll break it down into kind of these smaller pieces that we have here. Another tool that you're probably wondering and laughing, what's this for? I'll show you here too after we get everything out of the bag and talk about the ingredients. Is we're going to use this, actually we get most of the bones out, cut the rib bones out when we're filleting the fish, but there is still some bones that are in pieces of the fillet. We'll just cover some of the ingredients right now. So we have ground allspice. You can get all this stuff at your local grocery store. Black pepper or white pepper you can use in the recipe. Knock this over here. Onion powder is something else that we'll use. And garlic powder is something else that we'll use. I think one other thing too we might be missing is brown sugar. So we'll put brown sugar into here as well. Dark brown sugar they recommend, but regular light brown sugar will work. And then I have canning salt, or you can use kosher salt too if you have that at home. Again, I will post the exact measurements in the video link or description below, so you guys can reference that if you want to use it. What I'll do here next is I'll go ahead and show you how we're going to kind of prepare these and get the brine, it's called a dry brine mixture, ready to go. Alright guys, so as we're getting the fish prepared here, I kind of like to put my sections into different sizes. Again, so I got like the tails, more the smaller part of the belly going back towards the tail right here, and then obviously the main part of the chest belly of the fish is right here. So what I was talking about earlier is just getting the bones out. Again, you don't have to do this, it's whatever your preference is. If you're smoking it, a lot of times it falls right off the bone and it's not a big deal. Sometimes these bones dissolve. It's just how I like to do it. So as you can see here, we talked about, we have the ingredients here. This is the dry brine, and I'll show you how we do that in the pan next. One thing I forgot to mention earlier in the video too is that you do want a couple bay leaves, and you do cut those up and just throw them and mix them around. Again, if you don't have bay leaves, it's not the end of the world. There's lots of other recipes in line. It's just what we do here. And so basically what I was going to show you here, I talked about these pliers. Again, courtesy of my son. I'm going to have my wife, my camera assistant here, kind of zoom the camera in a little bit here, get a closer shot. I don't know if you can see these bones here. What helps is to take your finger and run them back to kind of get them more exposed. You can kind of see that there. And then all you do is you grab it with the pliers and you just pull, kind of keep your hands like this and just pull it back, and then you go like that. And then you just work your way down the fish. Not a quick process, but it works well, and just one less thing you got to worry about, especially if you want to gift these to people. You know, it's just one less thing you got to worry about having bones in here. So yeah, we do this. I'm sure there's going to be people that have a way better method. If you do, don't hesitate to leave that in the comments. I'm always here to learn. I'm just, you know, I'm not an expert king salmon fisherman or prepare, just a normal guy, and this is how I do it. So if you got a better way, a quicker way to get rid of these bones and kind of preserve the same amount of meat, again, shoot it in the comments, post the attachment link to this video. We'd love to see it, and whoever watches this video, I'm sure they'd be appreciated as well. So yeah, we're just gonna keep doing this for the rest of these fillets, and then we'll be ready to get the dry brine going, and then tomorrow we'll put it on smoker. All right guys, so like I said, we got all the bones out. It's a little bit of a tedious process, but put some tunes on and you'll be good to go. Dry brine's ready. I just have a big silver pan here. I'm kind of like to get the meat into the section. So again, these are more of like the, obviously this is the belly chest meat here, the thinner part of the belly, and then now these are the bigger steaks that are for the big chest. As you remember the video, this was one from one of the kings that was either the 24 pounder or just under 25 pounds. A little bit bigger sections here, so I cut those, again, kind of 3 to 4 inch by 3 to 4 inch pieces. These sets works for me. You can do larger pieces. This one will be like a shared piece with family. Did left that one a little bit bigger. So I'm going to put these out on the rack here. Then we got kind of the tail sections as well here. Put those laid out. Getting a little crowded on this plate here, which is all right. We're going to move some of these over here. And then once we have all the meat put on over the tray, what I like to do is obviously put all the brine on and make sure you got good coverage. I really want to make sure that there's good coverage of the fish. And as far as the dry brine length, you know, they can say you do it for 4 hours and you'll be good to go. 8-10 hours. I've found that I really like to just dry brine it overnight. When you pull these out of the fridge, you gotta make sure they're rinsed thoroughly. So make sure you, once they're done dry brining, again, I'm gonna dry brine them overnight, so about 24 hours. I'll do them tomorrow around noon. Gotta make sure you rinse these thoroughly. So make sure that you rinse them off. You don't want any of the gritty, grainy stuff from the brine left on the salmon. The second thing is that the dry time is really important. So you don't rinse them and throw them right on the smoker. You can if that's your preference and how you do it, but you're gonna find a lot better smoke adherence if the fish can develop what's called a good pellicle. Some guys I've read online will put fans up next to it, but you really kind of want to dry this typically for around 2 hours. Some guys leave it out on the counter. Some guys will dry it in the fridge for a couple hours. But again, drying it's the key. You want to make sure that there's good air movement and kind of get that tacky. If you stick your finger to the top of it, it'll almost have like a tacky pellicle, and that's going to really help smoke adherence when you throw it in the smoker. So I'm gonna go ahead here and start putting some of this brine on, and again, it's not rocket science. You just want to get good coverage. So I'll go through one time usually, and then I come back and I'll add more. I just want to make sure, again, I have enough to go around, but basically, yeah, it's just getting it on the fish. All right, guys, here we go. So, got our fridge here. We're just gonna put this in again. So we're gonna let this dry brine. Again, you can put it in as long as you want. That door gonna show like this? Sure isn't. So we're gonna move this like that. You can dry brine it as short as you want. I won't go any less than 4 hours, and maybe not longer than 24. I do like to do 24 hours, like I said earlier, for mine. That's all we do right now. That goes in, and that waits like that till tomorrow morning. All right, guys, welcome back. So here we are. Yesterday we were going through the process on how to dry brine and put in the fridge. This is dry brine for just under 24 hours, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, it's really important that you take the salmon and rinse it thoroughly in the sink, just to make sure you get all the dry brine off. You don't want to leave any of that grittiness on there. Then once you've rinsed all the dry brine off, you want to let it dry. So some guys do this in their fridge for 12 to 24 hours. Others like me will just do a room temp dry. We'll put it on these racks. So as you can see here, I just have cooking sheet racks, thanks to my wife, Randy, for letting me use these. And then I have just one of these inserted grates here. It just keeps it off to allow air to flow through. I have a couple of those. Then what I actually do to help speed up the process is just grab a fan. I grab a fan. I've read this online a couple months ago, and this is the process I've been using, and I like it a lot. So if you remember in the video a little bit earlier, I talked, the whole purpose of doing this is we're trying to get this pellicle. So I'm gonna show you here, the salmon, it kind of almost has that shiny, tacky appearance. You can see kind of right here, that's what we're going for. So it has a nice, good pellicle on each one of these pieces of salmon for about 2 hours of drying with the fan blowing. And I did rotate the trays once through just so that they could get equal air movement. But this essentially is gonna help the smoke in the smoker adhere to the salmon a lot better. So yeah, we did get a really nice pellicle on these pieces. One thing I'm gonna let you know is obviously when you're in the smoker, depending what type of smoker you use, you may have to pay attention to the heat, whether, you know, this is more of a vertical smoker I'm using just for the salmon. I'll show you that later in the video. But when I'm arranging this on trays, I try to keep like pieces together. So I have tails together, I have the thinner chest or belly sections together, and then I have the more full, big, thicker steak, kind of the upper chest of the fish pieces together. As you can see, the tail pieces after they've brined have shrunk down quite a bit, so they're not going to need to be in the smoker nearly as long as these thicker steak pieces that I have right here. So for example, this chunk, as you can see, has a lot more meat and is a lot more thick, and that's going to go on the smoker longer. Fish, when I smoke it, I like to get to an internal temp of 140 to 145 is usually what I'm aiming for, and then I'll cool it down in the fridge after it's done on the smoker, but we'll talk more about that in the smoking phase. Guys, welcome back. Here we are. We're out in the garage in our smoke shop. I have two professionals with me here, my daughter Evelyn and my son James. They join us on, as you guys see, a lot of these adventures, and they're here to help me today with the final process of the fish. So I normally do most of my smoking in my Traeger over there when I have beef and pork and things like that, but for fish, I found one of these, they're called Big Chief smokers. I got it for 50 bucks on Facebook Marketplace, and I kind of have that as my dedicated fish smoker. I'm just not a huge fan of how that one ends up smelling a few days later. But again, just like you've heard in this video, I've said multiple times, it's personal preference. So again, I got a little $50 smoker. It's just electric. There's no heat dial on it. It goes to 165, and that's where it stays. So low and slow with this fish, which is kind of nice. So what I've done is I got a couple racks in, and like I had talked about earlier, I have them staggered based on where the heat's gonna be, and then those thinner tail fillets I'll watch a lot more closely. One thing I do to help me with this is I use this meter. You can get these on Amazon, and it's really nice. It hooks up to your smartphone, and just in a thicker fillet here, that way I can kind of keep track of where I'm at temp-wise for the process. So Evelyn, let's go ahead and get this in the smoker here, sweet pea. All right, we're gonna go in here. We're gonna put this one in the top rack. Remember, it's hot. All right, there we go. Can you push that one in for me, sweetheart? All right, push that in. Perfect. All right, just want to make sure that back rack got in there. Excellent. Okay.
That is it always on?
We'll have Mom show. Hold on, we'll wait on that 1 second, buddy.
That
we'll have Mom.
Is it always on?
It is, baby. It doesn't turn off. All right, if you want to get a good shot in there, Mama, what it looks like with the salmon in. All right, so basically this is that vertical $50 smoker. There's a single burner down here, and then we'll have James show you here in just a second. Wait a second there, James will show everybody. This cover just goes on like this.
that sits there. This little lid lifts up, and then I have this just slides in nice that on that single burner down there, and she starts smoking. So for fish, you know, again, all personal preference. I'm going to use alder for this batch over here. I just got this bag online. It's just wood chunk chips. Typically, what I need to do for a 3 to 4 hour smoke, which is usually what it takes me to get these to where they're at, is I'll have to refill the pan probably about 3, maybe 4 times. Again, it kind of depends on what you want for smoke flavor. With fish, you got to be a little careful. If you smoke it too long, you can kind of get a little bit of a bitter aftertaste. So I wouldn't do more than 4 pans unless you, again, totally up to personal preference. But yep, we're using alder today, a little bit more of a mild wood for the smoke. Okay guys, here we are. Things are looking great. So I pulled the tail sections off. Those are good to go. These ones need a little bit more time yet here. They're getting close though. So what we're gonna do is start that maple syrup process. So for the last 30 to 45 minutes, I baste it once every 15 minutes with maple syrup, just to add that extra flavor in there. So what we're gonna do, I got my mop here. Just maple syrup like that. It just kind of adds that nice sweet flavor with all the brine that we did on there earlier. So it's coming along great. Ended up doing about 3 pots of the alder wood chips, and I think that'll give us a really good smoke flavor. And then now I'm just gonna let it get up to temp inside the smoker here. All right guys, we are back in the kitchen. These salmon snacks are just great. As you saw, we just finalized the cook prep there. I know the video kind of cut out a little bit on the end when I was doing the mop with the maple syrup, but I wanted to bring you guys in here and show you. I've dug into this one a little bit already, but just amazing high protein snacks, just delicious stuff. So this salmon is tremendous, just peels apart like that. Again, you don't have to debone them. I know that was a super long process in the video when I was doing that and deboning it, but honestly, you do the work now or you do it later. I can pick apart these pieces and pop them right in my mouth. I don't have to worry about it. The bones are in it. You'll have to pick them out while you're eating it, especially if you're giving it to other people. So, but yeah, it just turned out fantastic. Smoky. Some people like to do a little longer, more of a jerky style. This piece is kind of somewhere in between, good moist on the inside, and it's got a good cap and flavor on the outside. So enjoy. All right, guys, thanks for joining us on our first official video for Midwest Family Outdoor Adventures. It was a great time fishing for kings on the Kewaunee Harbor. It's one of my favorite types of fishing to do in the summer is fish for kings. And thanks to Josh, our big trud, as you guys saw in the video, for hosting us on his boat. And he was really kind of the one that taught me how to fish for kings. I will post the links to the campground we stayed at in the video description below. I'll also do a separate video just for the smoked salmon portion, so if you guys want to refer to that later, and I'll include the measurements in that as well. If you did like this video and want to follow along, please hit the like and subscribe, and then click the bell up top for future notifications when we post videos. And remember, the goal here is to get outdoors. Someday isn't a day of the week, so make sure you get outdoors today.